So the second part of Yichi Kimyangma that I wanted to cover is its application. And I think it's varied like any stance. Of course, I think it's a good training stance, an alternative to the horse stance of building up strength in the lower body. I do think that it's good as a fighting stance. Most high-level Wing Chun practitioners would say it's a practical fighting stance because it protects the groin and it gives, good stability of balance. I'm not going to say that's, a universal. I think that, of course, depends on the person. I don't think everyone can fight with the horse stance, just I don't think everyone can fight with the triangle stance like this. I think it depends on your training and your natural, bodily mechanics. But I think in all cases, or at least nearly all cases, the triangle stance is a great internal energy training stance. It's a good way to work on your qigong, your kikyo, your qigong, whatever you want to call it, because it works the legs enough that it promotes good qi flow, but it doesn't make it something that you have to actively focus on. I know a lot of people, when they're doing the hungar deep horse stances, they're lowering themselves down and extending their hands, and they're focused so much on keeping their lower body in good form and deep and low that they forget about the transmission in the hands. And in some cases, sure, that's a good thing. Builds more lower body awareness. But I think that for active building of chi, especially in the early stages, you need to be able to focus on what you're doing. Taking the lower body out of play while still promoting good chi flow is a good thing, and I think the triangle stance is great for that. That's why you see it in the iron wire set in Hungar. That's why you see it in the internal aspects of karate in Mowashi Uki Ibuki. You take Uchi Hachi Shidachi, that triangle stance, and then you move the hands in that slow circle like you're forming the Hadoken or the Kamehameha. And of course it's because you want to focus on the chi in your upper body, in your hands specifically, and you don't want to be worrying about the lower body, but you don't want to be, so cut off from your root, like you're sitting down or you're not paying attention to it at all. I think that the triangle stance gives you a nice mid ground where you can have all of that engagement in your lower body, but you don't have to consciously think about it. You can almost just sink into it and forget about it, almost. And yeah, you do find it in karate and Uchi Hachi Dachi. You do find it in most internal forms. Tai Chi, Xing Yi, Bagua Zhang. I heard it's in Lu Hie Ba Fa. I think I saw it once in Baji Chuan. Very well known in Goju Ryu and the other softer forms of karate. I believe in Sanchin or the Sochin stance in Shotokan. I believe that's similar. The point is that I think it could be seen as an upper level stance, and that you usually see it that way. But I think it's a good stance to practice for your own internal energy building at any level. So depending on where you learn it, whether it's from Tai Chi, Bagua, Karate, I think it's a good stance to practice as an alternative to horse stance, especially if you're like me and you have knee problems. And I think it's a good way to build that leg strength without risking really hurting those tendons. But of course that depends on you. So next I'll get into the withdrawing hand hikite. Until then, keep your teacups empty.